All right, so in this video we're going to cover sets of angles. So from our home screen here, we're going to go into our as-built app, and then from your as-built app you can name your point that you're going to store. So right now it's going to call it CP2, control point 2, which is fine. There's your code down here, so you can change your code, just like a typical as-built point, right? So you can call it, name it, whatever you want. So we're set up, we're ready to go. We have a back sight about 300 feet away from us, 370 feet away from us, and it's a zero round prism, zero constant, and we have another back sight here to the right of us that we're going to store, a foresight I should say. So to get to our sets of angles, we're going to hit the red toolbox. We're going to hit the set of angles, and then the first thing it's asking is our measurement order. So that's just a configuration of how the gun's going to shoot the foresight and the back sight. So right now it's back sight face 1, foresight face 1, foresight face 2, and then back sight face 2. I don't know why, I've always just gone to the back sight face 1, foresight face 1, then it'll flop the scope, turn back to the back sight in face 2, and then back to the foresight in face 2. I'm sure all these configurations work just as well, but that's the one I always go to. Number of sets, rule of thumb, just a minimum of 3 sets. You can do multiple sets, I think up to 10. So 3 is standard to me. So once we get our configuration set and our number of sets, we're going to hit the green check mark. And like I said, we're set up. We got our backside already done. So first thing we want to do is make sure our prism type is correct, which it's not. Right now it's on the Leica round, and we should be on a 34.4, just because we're on a zero prism constant. So we have that selected, and it's asking us to select our backside point. So we're set up here on point number 1. Our tri-brack, our backside is point number 2. So we're just going to tap point number 2, and then I'm going to come over to the gun, and I'm going to put my crosshairs on point number 2. Just like you would just any back sight. So I got my crosshairs on there, I like it, and I'm going to hit measure. Okay, so now it's got the back sight. Now it's saying measure new foresight in face 1. So we're just going to turn the gun and we're going to sight our foresight. And we have a tri-brack maybe 75 feet away from us that we're going to turn to, and this is the one that we're going to store. So I'm just going to fine tune it. And with the robot, you can probably turn and do a search and find the prisms. I just kind of find it easier just to manually do it myself, and that way I can define my back sight, define my foresight, and then we can hit measure. Okay, so your next screen says press OK to add new foresight point, or press define set to finish definition of the set. So if you hit OK, this is if you got multiple foresights, so you can have multiple back sights set up and store these points all in one set. But today we only just have one foresight set up, so we're going to go ahead and just define that set. And then you see the screen, it's going to pretty much tell you everything that the gun's doing, and then the robot's going to sit back and do the thing. Okay, this should be the last set. It's set number 3. This is face 1, facing the back sight. The robot to turn, find the foresight. And flop the scope. Face 2, back sight. And then turn back to the foresight in face 2, and that should complete the set. Okay, so there's our residuals. 1,000, 1,000, that's pretty tight. And if you like your residuals, we're going to hit the green check mark. And then you can see CP number 2 popping up right there. So that's basically how we define the set. So we're going to go back to our home screen here. And if you go into your reports, and if you want to export a report to get all the data from that, you can go to your data collection report, and you can save that into your tablet. We don't have the PDF creator tool, so we can probably do a CSV. There's multiple ways you can do it. So you can do an HTML, which is a pretty nice format to be printed out, a PDF, a CSV, or a text file. And again, I don't know if we're going to go find one today, but you can get in there and go into your reports under your documents and Leica Gia systems, icon, projects, and then reports. That's kind of the folder path that you got to follow to get to it. But you can pull out that report, and again, it'll tell you every angle you turned, every distance you shot, and then the point that you stored and the values of the point you stored. So if you just want to look at that and see what it was doing, it's pretty cool information to look at. But as far as that goes, that should wrap it up, and that's how you do a set of angles. Thanks.